Now there's a lot of things to love about Sonic games, but there's also a few things that Sonic players hate. So here's 100 of those things. Specifically in the classic Sonic games, when you get hit, you lose all your rings, not just a portion of them, and surely no one likes to go from like 100 to 200 rings and go right to 0. Waiting for the slow moving platforms in a game that's all about speed, it's painful to just stand there and then just killing all the momentum for the stage. Getting squished between moving walls or platforms, it's a classic Sonic death, but it never gets less annoying. Missing a shortcut because you didn't time your jump right. Now me personally, I have a habit of just jumping randomly in Sonic stages because of this, but sometimes I just tend to miss the jump for the shortcut and I hate it. Enemies that basically sneak attack you. Now specifically this one right here, I hate you. I hate you every time. Anyway, water levels. Honestly, I should have put this one at number 1. They slow down Sonic a lot. I don't think there's a single enjoyable water level in any Sonic game, in my opinion. Having to wait for bubbles to avoid drowning in water levels. Honestly, that is the worst thing ever. Like, imagine you're like 5 seconds off from drowning and you can't find a bubble anywhere. Auto-scrolling levels in Sonic games. You want to go fast, but the level quite literally makes that impossible. Sonic Boom. I could literally make an entire video of 100 things I hate about Sonic Boom, but we're not doing that. So how short the levels are in Sonic Forces. This game would be 10 times better if the levels were longer. When you're speedrunning a level and all of a sudden you hit a wall, nothing worse than a momentum killer, and you're about to beat your own record. Well, this is fixed in pretty much every other Sonic games after, but if you got hit once in this game, not only did you lose everything, but if there was another spike or obstacle near you, you're pretty much guaranteed death because you do lose all your rings in this game as well. This scene. Hearing this soundtrack every time an enemy gets near you in Sonic Unleashed. Having to charge up a spin dash while taking a loop because you didn't have enough momentum to get past it in the first place. Enemies that take more than one hit to defeat. Annoying. How slippery Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Heroes control. It always feels like you're running on ice on these games. Grind rails that end suddenly or change direction, and yeah, if you don't know what you're doing or if you haven't played the level before, you're probably gonna die. It's a personal one, but casino levels. Now some of them may be good, but most of them are more of a labyrinth than Labyrinth Zone itself. Having to collect all the Chaos Emeralds to see the true ending. I hate doing this. Boss fights that seem to repeat themselves, specifically with the final boss of Colors, Lost World, and Forces. Just make a different boss fight. Why is it all the same? Hello? When you get a game over and that too bad screen comes up, like, yeah, I want to try again. Just put me back in. Having to complete every single story in the game to get the true ending. I love you big, but I do not want to fish. Getting lost in large levels with no direction, like, hello? Where's the end? Enemies that shoot projectiles from off screen. Where did you come from? Eggman bosses where you have to wait for his weak point to be exposed, especially this one in Sonic Superstars. It's such a good level only to be met by this monstrosity. Literally a 3-minute level turns to like what, 6 to 8 minutes because of this boss fight. Sonic 3D Blast controls. I don't know how this game got approved, but it just feels horrible. Boost pads that throw you into danger instead of helping you. Thanks. Going back to underwater, I hate underwater boss fights, like slow Sonic, limited air, and a terrible boss. Who wants that? Not me! I already hate water levels, now a boss fight? Hello? How unbearably bad it is to control Sonic in high speed sections. Why can I not move when I jump? Why is Tails so slow? Like, please, move faster. You have 2 tails for a reason, and I could beat Tails in a race in this game, to be honest. You know what? We're throwing Silver in here too. Silver is it's probably even slower than Tails. Well, even with his telekinesis, Project 06 really just fixes the hell out of these problems. We might as well add this because it's Sonic 06, but everyone hates Sonic 06 for its glitches, so why not? This specific boss fights, unless you glitch it out, it'll take you like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, because you have to wait for the attack. We already did this one? You know what? It's okay. We'll leave it. It's Sonic 06. Let's not forget those excruciating long loading screens after every single little thing. I swear this adds like, what, 30 minutes just to the gameplay? Like, now, there's a million things to be said about this game, but I will leave it off with this. It was all just like a dream-ass story. Like, as you know, in the end of Sonic 06, Sonic and Elise blow out the flame that erases practically everything that occurred in the story like nothing happened. Now, some people might love the fact that the game isn't canon, but I hate it. I despise the controls in Sonic Free Riders. Now, personally, I played it one time and I never picked it up again. I was gonna make a video on it, but I can't. Trip story. Now, her story was overall the same, but one thing that was ramped up was the difficulty, and man, it doesn't get difficult. I remember from my playthrough, yeah, that's me in the back. This was arguably one of the hardest bosses ever, and I hated every single second of it. Was I satisfied once I won? Yes, but I hated fighting it. Now, this happened when the game first came out, but I'm pretty sure everyone played Forces back in the day really enjoyed when Sega made Supersonic a thing you had to pay for, the Nouveau. Now, this primarily affects PC games, and it affects them a lot. Now, what they do is they put the Nouveau to prevent piracy and all that. And the thing is, yeah, it does, but also it affects gameplay so much because, as you guys can see, it's running Sonic Frontiers at 1 to 5 frames a second, and at this point, just take the Nouveau off because it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna benefit the game at all. And how could I forget the annoying sound when you're about to run out of breath? I hate it every time. Like, imagine chasing a bubble and this is all you're hearing. Every level in Sonic Adventure 2 that is not an action stage, all of them suck. Garbage, I don't care. Getting stunned or frozen by enemies, you lose control and lose momentum, and you gotta wiggle your way out of it. Like, can I just go? Please. When you're trying to speedrun a level only to accidentally go in the special stage. I'm looking at you, Sonic Mania. The levels with low visibility, like these dark ones right here, like it's not fun to run around in a game of speed when you can't even speed through it because how dark it is. Missing a checkpoint right before the boss fight, worst feeling ever, and it's something I always personally do because I'm so used to just jumping. These Eggman bouncers, I have such a good time in a stage, and then I jump and accidentally home and attack these, and they send me all the way to my death. Boo. When you literally have to fight the camera to face the right way, like, please. Do what I say. And you know what? I actually completely forgot about this in the Sonic 06 section, but come on. I could... Speedrunning a level in Sonic Unleashed and you don't get an S rank. Instead, you get a BS A rank. Like, you can literally get a time of 0 in the first level, and that's still not good enough for an S rank. The fact that you can't play multiplayer online with people, like in 2024, no online? Come on, bro. I'm talking about Sonic Superstars. Like, how they gonna release a game in 2024 that's multiplayer and not have online multiplayer? It already has online. What? The multiplayer, please. How was this missed? In Sonic Frontiers, you can't play as Super Sonic in the open world unless you mod it, which is really annoying because why is that not an option after beating the game? 54. Now, you know I love me some Sonic Unleashed, but I hate it collecting those damn moon and sun medals, especially if you have to go back to an annoying night level just to get that medal. Staying on Sonic Unleashed, we're gonna throw Eggman in here. Personally, I love Eggman Land, but a lot of people just seem to hate it. You know what? We're doing another one. Tails' level sucks. Really, both of them do. That's really the only thing I personally dislike about this game, besides like maybe 1 or 2 Werehog stages. But these tornado defense levels are putrid. The spin dash from Sonic Adventure 2. Now, going from Sonic Adventure 1, the spin dash in that game was perfect. Now, this one in Sonic Adventure 2, I get why they had to nerf it, but this much? In Shadow the Hedgehog, you have options on how to complete the game. And if you want to get the good ending or the perfect ending to see the final boss, you have to do every single ending to get that final boss. And who wants to do that? Nobody! The final boss of Sonic Generations was a huge disappointment to such an incredible game. Also, hearing this voice line over and over again surely didn't help. The physics in this game are atrocious and even worse than the ones in Sonic 06. The music in this game was garbage. The 2.5 look in this game was something nobody really liked. People wanted this game to look like an old 16-bit Sonic, like the regular classic Sonic games, but Superstars, now that game did 2.5 correctly. This game did not. The environments did not look rich or had any sense of appeal to them at all. Oh wait, you know what? There's also an episode 2 of Sonic 4, another garbage game which nobody really liked the co-op on. It was cool, it was a cool concept, but the way that it was implemented made the game so much slower. Like, if it was to like take paths to like hidden areas to unlock Chaos Emeralds or something like that, like it was a shortcut to skip the stage, maybe then it would have been good. But all it really does is slow down the gameplay because half of that time, that mechanic, all it does is take time away from the stage. The fact that all the cyberspace levels in Sonic Frontiers are just reskinned Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant, City Escape, and Honestly, I just think that they should have added more textures from every single Sonic game because, you know, there's Sonic's memories. I don't think all of Sonic's memories are engraved to Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and City Escape. In my opinion, I think he had some really good times in zones like, I don't know, Windmill Isle and other zones. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that those 3 zones were the only ones in Sonic's memory. Planet Wisp from Sonic Generations. A level nobody likes to play. 66. When boosting is due automatic. Now, nobody likes a stage that basically just plays itself. I also want to play Sonic Adventure DX, a port of Sonic Adventure that nobody enjoys because of how bad it is. Now, this is probably just me, but those side missions in Sonic Generations that you had to do to complete the game were annoying. Like, just let me go through the game. I'm not saying for them to remove them because honestly, Sonic Generations is already a very, very short game. But I mean, I feel like they just added this literally just to pad the game for more playtime. The annoying pop-in in Sonic Frontiers, especially when you're going so fast trying to go somewhere only for the whole section just to suddenly appear in front of you. Have you ever discovered a hidden path and it leads nowhere? Yeah, why is it even here? Dying as soon as you get a 1-up. What was the point? Sonic and the Secret Rings being the reason why Sonic 06 is the garbage that we knew today. Now, while we're on the topic of Secret Rings, we might as well bring those putrid controls to the light. Black Knight is not that better, but for a game that's basically split Sonic Team into 2, the controls for Secret Rings are so bad that in recent years they have made a fully controller version of the game, which I'll admit, it's not too bad. Having to press the run button in Sonic Lost World. Now, a lot of fans already don't like this game, but just imagine having to press a button to run as Sonic, the character who is supposed to run by default. How overused Green Hill Zone is. Now, everyone loves a callback to the original game, but the fact that Green Hill Zone is so overused makes it a lot so players just don't want to see it anymore. How useless Red Star rings are. Like, they don't really unlock anything at all in some games, and they just feel like chores to get rather than a reward. Button mashing quick time events in Sonic Unleashed. Like, I know when the first time you saw this pop up on your screen, ain't nobody liked it. That's why we haven't seen it in a game since. The fact that a lot of the characters from the early 2000s are lacking in recent Sonic games, like Cream, Blaze, etc. Those characters have not been in a game in a while, and if they are, they aren't playable. Like Sonic Frontiers has been the only game that they have been playable in decades, probably before Sonic 06. And that's just the main cast, not even like other characters. 79, lacking in DLC. Now, Sonic games rarely get DLCs. Frontiers did fix this issue recently, but not a lot of Sonic games do have DLC that makes the game worth replaying. Like, imagine having an expansion pack of Generations with even more levels. Like, I know we have mods, but Sega, we want more levels, not a casino. Bosses in Sonic the Hedgehog classic Sonic games, how after every act there is a boss battle. That Blaze the Cat has been left out in every single recent Sonic game. Now, Sonic fans, now this is a really good one because I feel like a lot of Sonic fans will tear down any and every Sonic game no matter how good that game can be, especially the fans on Twitter. Inconsistent gameplay, direction, and formula. Now, this is a really good one because I can't remember any Sonic games having a formula for more than 3 games. Like, they always change the formula way too quickly. Like, imagine having 2 or 3 more Sonic games like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, as well as like Sonic Unleashed instead of whatever the hell Boom and Lost World was. The movements are inconsistent as some games make Sonic feel awesome and some make him feel like ass. Now, this is very accurate because in Sonic games like Sonic Unleashed and Frontiers, he controls beautifully, and then in Forces and Boom and Lost World, I could keep going, but you get the point. Sonic Colors Wii excess of 2D sections. I very much agree with this because, well, I love Sonic Colors, but I wish there was less 2D sections in this game. But it does make sense for some Wisp to require 2D sections, but I feel like if a level is 3D, let most of it be in 3D. I swear I load into a 3D Sonic level and most of it is spent in 2D, and it's the most annoying thing ever. Werehog stages. Now, as amazing as Sonic Unleashed is, some of the Werehog stages are just not it. I love a lot of those night stages, but Savannah Citadel is hot garbage. Unbalanced difficulty. An example of this would definitely be in Sonic 2, because at the end of that game, if it's your first time playing that game, it's damn near impossible, especially with the life system. Bosses in Sonic Superstars. Now, in this game, brother, I don't know what they were thinking with more than half of the bosses in this game being garbage, but most of them sucked very badly. Like, the final boss, in my opinion, was very good. It was insanely difficult, but I enjoyed it. So it's not very far-fetched to say that they kind of saved the budget for the final bosses, so I'm not too mad there because the game did end on a good note. 89. this skin. Neglecting the Chow Garden. Now, I have absolutely no clue why Sega has not made anything with the Chow Garden. Like, they could literally base a whole game on just the Chow Garden and just like make it a mobile game. Like, are you kidding me? You see games like Pokemon Go going off. Like, imagine having Sonic version of the Pokemon Go. I don't know, something like that. The story took a massive hit since Black Knight and only got better once Frontiers came out. I completely agree with that because some stories since Black Knight have definitely been lacking. Now, there has been some very good games such as Generations, and well, that's about it, but besides Mania. But that game was perfect, but Gens just didn't have the best story along with it. I mean, it was okay at best, but you know, Sonic Frontiers story, that story's up there with one of the best. How hated Sonic 06 is. Now, we did have our share of hate of Sonic 06 in this video, but Sonic 06 did have its moments with the music and a lot of the players realizing its potential with the release of Sonic P06, which turned the once hated Sonic 06 into an actual successor of Sonic Adventure 2, Scrap Range Zone, and Metropolis Zone Act 3. Now, I wholeheartedly agree with this person pouring their heart out in this comment because it's damn near impossible to complete this stage without losing rings, let alone losing the life. But yeah, why is there an Act 3 of Metropolis Zone when the rest of the zones only have 2 acts? And it just so happens that the worst zone in the game has 3. Sonic Colors Ultimate. Now, this is the PC port of Sonic Colors, and I never really bought it before, but every time I hear something about it, it's something negative, so it doesn't seem like I'm missing out on much, because every time I play Colors, it's definitely not gonna be on the Steam version of the game, if you know what I mean. Special stages. Now, I actually don't mind a lot of those special stages, but they are still a pain to get through because, oh, you missed one little thing, say goodbye to your emerald. You know what? I'm budging in here with my own thing. You can't retry the special stages. Like, after you fail it, you just fail. Like, goodbye. Like, hello? Why can't you just retry it? When Sonic became a teacher, I forgot this happened, so I'm just gonna let it stay like that. Not getting a remake of Sonic 06. Now, we basically are with P06, so I'll budge in here once again by including Sonic Unleashed. Why is there no Sonic Unleashed in my Steam library right now? I have no clue why. Why? I don't know. Sega, what are we doing? Slow levels. Now, we kind of did this one already, but yeah, slow levels in Sonic games are horrible. Like, they kill the pace of the game, and honestly, they just feel like they were just put in just to extend playtime. And finally, the fact that they got rid of lives. Yes, I loved getting 100 rings and getting rewarded with the sweet sound of... Anywho, that is 100 things that players hate about Sonic. Let me know what you guys hate about Sonic in the comments down below, and also let me know what you guys want to see next. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more content, and see you guys next time.